It feels like I'm moving.
Oh my gosh, look behind you. The sky's falling. The ground, the place is moving. Fuck. This place is moving.
Seems like it, doesn't it?
This is awesome.
No, it's not awesome. We're moving.
Watch.
We're moving. This place is moving. Oh my gosh. Kristen. We're moving. Kristen, this place is moving.
I know, I'm about to throw up.
I'm scared. Me too. We're gonna die. I'm gonna puke in your lap. We are going to die. I'm gonna throw up in your lap.
Whoa.
What?
I want to throw up.
Don't throw up. Close your eyes and count to 10. This place is moving. Kristen, this place is actually moving.
Shut up, okay? Just watch this.
What's that?
Jupiter.
Pluto?
Pluto. Thank you.
I almost said Venus.
I almost said Venus too.
Is that all of it? Are you serious?
I feel like we're actually in space.
We're moving. Yes, it is.
The screaming. Shh.
Hey, hush. What is that?
Yes, you were moving.
I'm glad we're the only people in here.
I wish you could recline the seats.
I mean, they're kind of overclined.
No, this place is moving.
Did it choke you out?
Yeah, I was dead in all them years. I wasn't even born. I was dead.
That's the year before I was born.
Yeah, and that's the year I was dead.
I thought it was when I was
You're getting ready to come back to life, but I was dead.
Mom's birthday. That's when we were.
He said no because he thinks we're moving.
Oh my gosh, Riley, you're born. And there I was born. I was born 2006 on May 23rd. And look, Joan, you get ready to be born. Joan, you're born 2012.
Yeah, I was born before you.
2016 was the year President Trump got elected.
I was 4.
Oh my gosh. This place is moving.
Is this supposed to be the sun?
I think this is supposed to be the path of the plane.
This is the path.
Over the front.
This place is legit moving.
Is this not wild?
This is wild. I'm scared. I don't know if we could ever come back here. This place is moving.
It's not the screen.
We're having an earthquake.
What is that?
Those are purple stars.
This is. Mama.
What?
I'm so glad we came here.
think this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this on YouTube.
Do it, Gates.
Bro. I got like 20,000 plus views in the
Finding
past
new
year.
objects in the solar system is, in principle, simple. Take a picture of a patch of sky, come back, take another picture of the same patch of sky an hour later. All of the stars, all of the galaxies in the Milky Way will be in exactly the same place relative to each other.
moving
Anything that moves is part of the solar system. The real trick is being able to search the entire sky. By the early 2000s, we attached what was then the largest astronomical camera in the world, the Palomar 48-inch telescope, which could be used robotically night after night after night to scan the skies. Even with this amazing machine, it still took us more than 5 years to take enough images to cover the night sky. We couldn't just take pictures, of course. We had to analyze them to find out what was moving. Every night, the telescope beamed at the most recent batch of images over the microwave link back to my computer in Pasadena, which churned away, comparing each point of light, each star, each galaxy, to see what might be changing. The computer just made the first pass at the data, though. Every morning, I would wake up, go into the office, and sift through what the computer thought it had found from the night before. I went through hundreds of camera glitches, dust motes, atmospheric disturbances, and who knows what else each day, looking for one of the elusive images that showed something real, a new world in the outer part of the solar system.
I'm posting this on YouTube.
One morning,
No, I'm
scanning through
not.
data, I saw 3 images flash
what if-
across my screen, and there was an object.
I get copyrighted.
And brighter than almost anything
I got a
else
bunch of
I've ever
copyright
seen.
claims on my videos.
Very slowly across the screen, and I fell out of my chair.
That's exactly
The speed that something moves across the sky tells us instantly how far
Do y'all
away it
mind
is.
being on YouTube?
Things that are close move really fast. Asteroids
Make it
go
short.
zipping across the screen. Meteors make streaks even. And of course, there are airplanes landing just down the mountain at the San Diego airport. But this object was moving slowly, more slowly than anything we had ever seen. I immediately knew that it, the object that we now call Eris, was the most distant object we had ever seen in the solar system. That very day, I sent an email to Chad Pio in Hawaii and David Rabinowitz at Yale, the other 2 astronomers I was working with, saying, hey, we just discovered something that is at least as big as Pluto, but it might even be as big as Mars.
Galaxy. Look, there's a meteor.
It's funny, we couldn't tell how big it was, but the telescope didn't have the power to resolve the size of Eris. We were just measuring how much sunlight was reflecting off of the surface of the object. The same amount of sunlight is reflected off of a very large dark surface. It's a tiny icy surface. We didn't know which one we were looking at. We needed the sharpest view available, so we wrote a quick proposal to the director of the Hubble Space Telescope, essentially saying, so hey, we found something and it's as big as Pluto or maybe bigger. Can you take a picture of it with the telescope? And they said, yeah. So they took this picture, and we thought, well, we didn't quite know what to think. We thought it might be big, it might show continents, it might show mountains. And here's the picture we got. Eris is small. It's about the same size as Pluto, which also means that to be so bright, it has to be incredibly reflective. How reflective? Eris reflects an astounding 97% of the light it gets from the sun. By comparison, freshly fallen snow only reflects about 75%. How is it so reflective? Our best guess is that when Eris is closer to the sun, it has a nitrogen atmosphere like Pluto, but when its orbit takes it further away, that atmosphere freezes out, leaving behind a layer of fresh, highly reflective nitrogen frost. Then we discovered Dysnomia, a moon orbiting Eris. The great thing about having a moon is that it lets you weigh the object it is orbiting. The faster the moon goes around a body, the more the body weighs. Even though Eris is the same size as Pluto, we now know that it weighs about 28% more. Eris is the Pluto killer, the object that forced us all to rethink our ideas of what a planet is. Eris is the most massive of a number of large objects discovered in the Kuiper Belt. Let's bring some of these larger objects closer to compare them. Neptune that a robotic spacecraft has visited. All of the other images are artists' conception, our best guess of what these dwarf planets might look like. Pluto we now know to be a bizarre world with nitrogen glaciers, massive water ice moons, and a hazy atmosphere. Eris, which we just visited, is extremely reflective.
2007.
Maki is about 2/3 the size of Pluto and Eris and is covered in thick slabs of frozen methane. Ormar seems to be a strange hybrid between the cratered plains of Charon and the exotic ices of Pluto. Orcus and Banff are perhaps a miniature version of the Pluto-Charon system. This object, 2007 OR10, was originally nicknamed Snow White because we thought it would be one of the brightest and whitest objects in the outer solar system.
Snow White.
Now we know it's red and
And the
dark,
7
but
Grinch
it doesn't have a better
goals.
nickname yet. Sedna has a particularly strange orbit that tells an amazing story about the distant solar system. Haumea is really wild with its odd shape and fast rotation. It deserves a close look. Right when we discovered Haumea, we noticed that it changes in brightness. It would get brighter and fainter,
That was
brighter
so
and
wrong.
fainter every 2 hours.
It was like an
It
8.
makes sense for it to be rotating that fast. If it was rotating every 2 hours, it wouldn't be able to hold itself together. It would fly apart. What did make sense was that it was shaped like a squashed egg and rotating every 4 hours. It showed its long side, then short side, long side, then short side, making it appear brighter and then fainter. Because Haumea spins so quickly, it's been stretched out into this strange shape. If it had been spinning much more slowly, Haumea's gravity would have made it round. Because we know how fast Haumea is spinning, and because we know its shape, we can determine roughly what it is made of. Kuiper Belt objects are a mixture of ice and rock, but Haumea needs to be almost entirely rock. If it wasn't, it wouldn't have enough strength to hold its shape. We also have a different way to figure out what it's made of, by examining the spectrum of the light that reflects off of its surface. We see that the surface is almost entirely water ice. If we could cut Haumea apart, it would be rocky in the middle with a very thin layer of water ice on the outside. This is bizarre, because we think that most things in the outer solar system have much more ice than this. Where did all the ice go? Imagine a larger object, way back in the early solar system.
Wow.
This larger object was maybe half ice, half rock, rock on the inside and ice on the outside. This early Haumea was minding its own business until it had a really, really bad day. On that really bad day, it got smacked by another object.
Like how I got headbutted in the nose by Jalen.
It was a glancing blow, and that blow set everything spinning. It also sent the ice that was on the outside flying off into space and left the rock behind to form the present-day Haumea. The giant collision explains both why Haumea is rotating so fast and why it is mostly rock. But when we proposed this idea, not all scientists were convinced. They said that the chances of a collision in the early solar system were way too low. So we kept on working, and we kept on studying Haumea. Next, we discovered that Haumea has 2 moons. Haumea is named after the Hawaiian goddess of childbirth, and the moons are named after her children, Hi'iaka and Namaka. Many Kuiper Belt objects have moons, so that isn't too unusual. But the giant collision theory helps explain why Haumea has 2. They formed from the debris of that collision. The evidence that really convinced others that the Haumea system formed with the giant collision came from other objects that are also covered in water ice, like Haumea. Here they are now. See how their orbits are all similar? They all have the same tilt as Haumea. They have the same orbital shape as Haumea.